I've solved it, and now I really like this system quite a bit better. So here's the way I solved it. Hey folks, so I made that video, Mega 360 maybe, and it was quite a long video talking about how difficult it was for me to incorporate the new Mega 360 unit into what I was doing. But you know what, it's been, what, 4 or 5 months now. I think I got it in April, and it's been, the world's kind of been crazy since then, but I have been working on this, and now I have to say I have a whole different understanding of the potential of the Mega 360. So let me tell you about it. The first thing was I was treating it like the AS 360, which was the former Humminbird product, right? That was the one where you would kind of use it separately than your other transducer. The Mega 360 incorporates the side scan sonar ability and its circular sonar, so kind of a radar look. So, but for me, the hard part was I don't have a trolling motor because I don't fish, and I didn't like the look of any other mounts that I saw. I didn't want to get the big screw jack mount. I don't even think that works for the Mega. I think that was for the older one. So I really poo-pooed it, because what I'd have to do is I'd have to come out here, I'd put it on this, put it in the water, and if I didn't remember to bring it up when I left, then I always thought that would be a catastrophe. It has that wet switch on top, which was, I found, a pain, because if the water wasn't quite hitting the top of the unit, it would give an error to the head of the sonar, which I didn't like. So I've solved it. So now I have this, I created a parallelogram mount just using some aluminum square tubing. So now I can deploy it, and it goes down under the water. And then when I pull it up, I just leave it hooked up all the time. Of course, I have a bus switch. You know, I think these things use quite a bit of energy, so you don't want to just let them go all the time. But I leave it mounted all the time, leave it wired all the time, and then I just shut off when like at the beach today, I just will shut off all the sonar system with a single switch that goes to all the electronics. But in this case, yeah, just to show you, I use some stainless steel pipe, tube, hose clamps, and some stainless steel hardware into aluminum, and I just mounted it to the back of the boat. What I like about this is if I do forget to bring it up and I head off on a plane, it just rises up it rises out of the water more and more until it kind of solves its own issue, right? Like the pressure alleviates as it goes up. So I like it now. It's so much better. I've scanned to about 6 miles an hour so far, and that seems fine. It doesn't seem to give me any error. About 6 seems to be the limit. Once again, I will show you how far back the propeller is. It's quite a ways back, so even when the propeller's running, I'm probably 18 inches ahead of it with this transducer, and I think that's really important, as I've said in other videos, because it allows me to run the engine at a higher RPM and still get good search results without the shock wave of the propeller going into the sonar system. So anyway, I retract my maybe from that review, and I say definitely, if you have a good mount for it, it definitely is a nice unit. Also, you need to get the Y cable. If you're going to run both the standard transducer, the standard side imaging transducer, and the Mega 360, you have to have a Y cable, unless you have two sonar heads, two like helixes. But in this case, I have one, and so I run the Y cable, which was like 75 bucks from Humminbird. And as I said in the very first video, some information comes from one, some comes from the other. So if you don't have the Y cable, you're going to end up not getting a depth reading. You're not going to be able to turn on the contour mode, which erases the water column, and a couple other things which I can't remember right now. But it's best to use the Y cable, have both. I've got the other transducer. I can't see it. It's under the water right now. And then the Mega 360. So solidly, I recommend this system if you have the right mount. You a little bit of an introduction of how I like to have things set up. So I've got this is the Helix 10, and I run the Mega 360 into that, and then this I have the Ethernet system set up, so I Ethernet these together. So this is a Humminbird 898 CSI, which is an early side imager, which it's a great one. It goes up to about 800 kilohertz, and the new one is the Mega, which goes up to 1.25 megahertz. So I have all of this wired through this switch here. So what that allows me to do is to make sure nothing's bleeding energy out. So like everything's turned off when the switch is off. On this side, I have a Humminbird I can't remember the model number on this one, but it is a, it gives me, and I've made a video about installing that. That gives me the depth no matter how fast I'm running, because all these transducers get out of the water once I'm on a plane. So I need that for when I'm towing kids or when I'm just transiting around. I want to know the depth of the water because it's really not obvious here in the river. All right, and I use just these are basically fishing mounts that I bought online. So I don't know who makes these, but they're cheap and they're easy, and then I just mounted them to that. So I almost never turn this. If I need to turn for glare, I can, but for the most part I don't use it. I always use it the same way. And then on the Helix, you know, it has a way you can connect and disconnect it all at once, which is great. Not so much for this, but because I'm only running an Ethernet into the back of this and a power cable, that makes that one pretty easy for the old one. So that's my setup. I showed you the new mount, so I'm really happy with the way things are going now. The only other thing I don't have is a boarding ladder, which really cuts into my diving. I've got this boarding ladder that I bought at West Marine, but I really don't like it. It doesn't fit very well. It can float off. If I forget it, it's gone, and then it sinks after about 10 seconds in the water. So anyway, that's my boat setup. Thanks for watching, folks, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I can keep making great videos for you.